Guys, you know those workouts where you literally have like a love-hate relationship with it because they're so painful while you're doing it, but you know the gains are so good. Well, yeah. Let me get ready, have some food, and I will update you on how the challenge is going and what has been happening for the last 3 weeks. We are ready, we're fed, and we're ready to tackle the day. I promise you guys, I'm gonna include the full workout at the end of the video, so stay tuned, keep watching. It was a good one. For once, I thought I'm gonna be consistent with YouTube and I'm gonna be updating you every single week on how things are going. I'll be vlogging every single weekend, and a minor inconvenience, and it just threw me off. Honestly, guys, let me tell you, when I attempted to record Get Ready With Me, an update on the 10-week challenge after the first week, and it was going so well. I thought I got great footage, and then I went to edit it, and what happened? For some reason, there was no voice. It was my first time using an external mic, and I was like, you know what, let me improve the quality of these videos. And I got myself a Rode mic, and it just happened. I just don't know. I just don't know what happened. There's just no voice. So it's just about an hour of me talking with no sound. And it completely threw me off. I was just like, that's it, I'm quitting YouTube. I can't believe that we're already at the end of week 4 of the 10-week challenge. The weeks are just absolutely flying. So if you've no clue what I'm on about and this is your first video from myself that you're watching, go back to my previous one where I explain the 10-week challenge that I set myself and why I set it and what I'm doing, because today is an update on how everything has been going. So first of all, check-ins. I've been doing them every single week. I do them myself. I send them off to all my clients to do, and it is super, like, tremendously important that you do that, whether you're working with a coach, with a trainer, or you're just training yourself. But like, if you're trying to achieve any goal, then it is so important that you evaluate how things are progressing on a regular basis, so that you can make necessary changes if needs be. So this week has been the 4th week of my check-ins, and I said to myself that every 4 weeks I'm gonna do a bigger evaluation, such as I'm gonna take my progress pictures again, my measurement, and my weight. I don't do that every single week. I'm only doing that every 4 weeks. I'm giving my body time to like adapt to the program, adapt to my like nutrition. The last week has been okay, actually probably has been the best week of the challenge. I'm not gonna lie, the first 3 weeks have been hard. Like, it's just been a bit up and down. I wasn't as consistent as I would like to be. It started off quite well, but then I was still kind of finding myself falling back into like the old habits, the old bad habits. And then I was going away to Lisbon, which was fine. I actually had that planned trip before I even started the challenge, so I knew that was going to come up. And look, I had a great time. I don't regret anything. I actually took some time away from training for 5 days. It was my first time not training, not even that long, but like 5 days is not a huge amount of time. But I actually didn't have a break for, I'd say maybe like 2 years. Since the gyms opened after lockdown, I don't think I've taken such a break. Even when I went away to Dubai, when I was like in London there a month ago, I still was training regular. Now this time around, I decided that I'm just gonna take a little bit of break. I was going away with one of my best friends, which I haven't seen since November, so we had a great opportunity to properly catch up. I didn't really pay much attention to my nutrition either. I was just enjoying such delicious food. Honestly, Lisbon is probably one of my favorite places in Europe in terms of brunch. And I'm obsessed with brunch. I am honestly obsessed. And the prices were so good, like you got your value for money anyway. An amazing time, but obviously that kind of like added to the inconsistency of it. And when I came back, even like when I was in Lisbon, I actually started suffering with really bad bloating issues. I was like bloated the whole time, and no matter what I ate, I could have had something as simple as like rice cakes and jam and I would bloat, and it was really painful. So I decided that I'm gonna order some probiotics and L-glutamine. But actually over the week, since I think it could have been just like the travel and the change in the food that I was eating, food that I wasn't used to. I was eating out a lot, obviously. There was also a lot of like alcohol involved. So that kind of heightened the bloating. Since I came back from Lisbon, I just got back into like my regular training, making sure I'm like hitting my steps. I mostly just ate meals at home. Yeah, it got back to normal. I'm feeling okay now. My L-glutamine came, so I'm gonna start taking it every morning and see how I get on, because I do in general suffer with bloating and I find hard to digest certain foods. So I'm hoping that it will help with my digestion. It's also important to just be patient, because whenever you start something new, even though I have been training for years, I'm still set myself a little challenge, which was obviously challenging in the first like 1 to 3 weeks. So it is important just to be patient and just trust the process. I could have easily just gave up and been like, I'm not seeing any changes, like this is not working, let's try something else. But I was like, no, it is for 10 weeks and it is always going to be a little challenging at the start. And although there wasn't that inconsistency, there was some things that came up that kind of like threw me off. I was like, I'm gonna keep pushing. And now the last between like week 3 and 4, I've actually began to see changes and I'm feeling a lot more better in myself. I have seen improvements in habits. Building better habits has been like the #1 priority of this challenge, because I found myself that I fell into like bad habits of like snacking, just and like mindless eating, especially working a lot from home. I tend to like boredom eat and just like be picking at things. I haven't spoke about this in much detail, but I used to suffer with disordered eating and body dysmorphia, especially when I kind of started getting into fitness and I started introducing a lot of restrictions, and I thought I had to cut out certain foods, which would end up in that like binge restrictive cycle and kind of ruined my relationship with food. So like over the last 2 years or so, I've kind of been trying to build that relationship back up and understand that, you know, food is food. Food is there to be enjoyed. Like there's no point punishing yourself. I think I started kind of falling into the bad habits of emotional eating again. So this challenge isn't focused on trying to cut food or add like tremendous amount of extra exercise or kill myself with like cardio every day. It's about focusing on habits, building better habits, being more mindful. And from that kind of point of view, I've been doing really well. I do find myself that I kind of think twice now before reaching out to the cupboard or the fridge and like asking myself, how is that gonna make me feel in like 10 minutes? Biggest one was nighttime snacking, because I found like whenever I had dinner, I'm like, oh my god, I need dessert. Like I'm kind of doing now is like I'm gonna have my meal and then I'll get like a sugar-free drink, like Fanta Zero or 7-Up free, and I'll have that and I'll wait off at least like 30 minutes. And if I'm still feeling like having a dessert, or if I'm still feeling hungry, that's okay. Like I'll go back and make myself like a small snack and sit down and have it. But I am being mindful.
Then in terms of my training, I'm not changing anything because, like I said, only in the last week I felt like I began to develop that consistency again. I was consistent with my training, I was consistent with my nutrition, and besides that, I started a new plan at the start of the 10 weeks, and it is so important to be able to stick to a plan for a period of time. If you have like an end goal to reach, like, it is important to be able to stick to a program consistently over a period of time, like minimum 6 weeks. But if you see that you keep progressing, by all means keep on going. And this is exactly what I'm doing. I am sticking to one program, and every single week I am challenging myself by trying to add like extra weight or additional reps, or perhaps just stop and evaluate how my form and technique is, and always try and improve. And I feel like there is always room for improvement. My training schedule is like remaining the same. I'm doing 4 weight training sessions, which include legs, push, pull 1, pull 2, and then 1 to 2 runs, depending on recovery, depending when I have time, because you know, guys, life is busy, and I feel like it's busier than it has ever been. There's a lot of stuff that's going on my plate, but we're still prioritizing our health, our fitness, and getting it done. But if you're ever feeling guilty about missing a gym workout, phrase it this way. Say your plan consists of 4 days in the gym. That's about 1 hour each, give or take, okay? That's 4 hours in a week, 4 hours out of 168 hours that are in the week, which is about 2 to 3%. So one missed workout will have very, very little effect on your progress. Now, I don't mean that you should be missing workouts every single week, but if it's the case that 1 week something comes up that you genuinely cannot make it to the gym, look at the other factors that come into play into your fitness journey, such as your like overall activity on daily basis outside of the gym. And this is why setting a step goal, like a daily step goal or a weekly overall step goal, is so important. My goal at the moment is 12,000 steps. Individual to me completely, because I find that I get 10,000 quite easily. With 12,000 I actually have to go out of my way to go on that like extra walk or add an additional 15-20 minute walk, otherwise I'm not gonna hit it. So it is that bit challenging, and I do like I said, you need to get out of your comfort zone to grow. But yeah, your overall activity, your nutrition, your hydration, your sleep, your stress, all these factors are very important in terms of like reaching your goals. So yeah, the gym is only one side of the equation. So if you're ever feeling guilty that you just need to miss a workout, just look at what other areas you can take control of.
Today's actually such a gorgeous day. I keep forgetting we have a balcony. Like, look at this. We got it done up last summer. I am so happy that the weather is like finally picking up, so we'll be able to use it again. But yeah, I am just heading out to meet one of the girls for lunch and a little coffee and a catch up, because I haven't seen her properly in ages. And that kind of brings me onto my last point about like what I'm doing different in this challenge, and is that I'm still able to go out and enjoy myself and enjoy meals out. I feel a lot of people are afraid to start or like push out starting in case they kind of have to give up, you know, socializing, going out for meals with their friends, with their family, and that doesn't have to be the case. Like, I was out last night for like burgers and fries with one of my friends that came down from like England, and I was still able to enjoy that and still able to like fit it into my nutrition, because having that understanding that there is like no good or bad foods
and you can still enjoy them in like moderation. So I'm making more mindful choices when I do tend to go out. Like there is days, like say last night, where I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm feeling like having some burgers, like having some fries. But say today I'm going out for lunch and I'm like, I'm gonna choose something that probably fits better within my nutrition, but also like reminding myself this is my choice, like I'm choosing to like diet, right?